The real bladder irritant isn't a disease. It's a drink you sip without thinking. Ignore it, and you risk more urgency, disrupted sleep, and daily detours. Stay with me for a calm, natural fix that puts comfort back in your hands. Picture a weekday that looks a lot like yours. The car cup holder still warm from the morning drive-thru latte, a refillable tumbler of iced coffee sweating on the desk, a lemon-lime seltzer waiting in the break room fridge, and a better choice diet soda with lunch because, well, fewer calories. It all feels normal and, if we're honest, kind of productive. Sip, answer emails, sip, hop on a call, sip again. Hours later, the subtle pattern shows up. More bathroom breaks, a nagging urgency that interrupts your flow of work and of life, and that odd feeling that the bladder never quite empties. It's not dramatic, just insistent, like a tap quietly dripping. Here's the twist I wish someone had told me sooner. What strains your bladder isn't always how much you drink. It's what you sip on all day long. The common habit hides in plain sight. Frequent small gulps of stimulating, acidic, fizzy, or artificially sweetened drinks that keep the bladder's lining a little irritated and a lot chattier. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means you're human in a culture that loves to supersize energy and flavor. American convenience practically trains us to keep a cup within reach. Free refills, nitro cold brew, zero sugar energy drinks with neon labels, sparkling waters that taste like a lemon rolled across them. All of them fine in isolation, but together and on repeat, they can nudge sensitive bladders into overdrive. Let me say this clearly and calmly. There's no need for fear or guilt. Your bladder is resilient. It's also surprisingly responsive when you change the input. Instead of chasing a miracle cure, we'll make a gentle, testable shift that respects your routine. Think of it as a skill, not a restriction. Start with a simple observation window. For the next 48 hours, keep doing what you do, but write it down. Note the time of each sip, what it was, and how your body responded within the next hour or two. Did urgency spike after cold brew? Did seltzer plus citrus flavor leave a faint burn? Did that mid-afternoon diet cola correlate with 2 quick trips to the restroom? No judgment, just patterns. This small act of noticing is the doorway to change. While you're observing, try one small swap per day. Choose any of these. Trade your second coffee for a mellow herbal tea without citrus. Replace the lunchtime diet soda with still water and a few slices of cucumber. Skip the flavored seltzer at 4 p.m. and drink a glass of plain water instead. The goal is not to remove pleasure. The goal is to give your bladder a few calm hours at a time. Many people notice that when drinks get simpler, the bladder gets quieter. A word about hydration. Yes, water matters, but timing matters more than you think. Rather than constant micro-sips, try hydration windows. Have a full glass of water, then give your body a pause. This rhythm tends to dilute urine without poking the bladder all afternoon. It's remarkably doable, even in busy American office culture. You can pair a glass with your calendar alerts, one after your morning stand-up, one after lunch, one mid-afternoon. Consistency beats intensity. If you already know coffee is a trigger, yet love the ritual, don't go to war with it. Adjust it. Half-calf is a lower stimulus bridge that still tastes like your morning. Cold brew, despite its smoothness, can still be strong. Try a shorter pour over more ice or alternate days. With sparkling water, remember that bubbles plus acidity plus flavorings can add up. If lemon or lime is your signature, experiment with cucumber, mint leaves, or simply chilled still water in a favorite cup. The container matters more than we admit. A satisfying straw or a weighted glass turns plain water into something you actually crave. None of this replaces medical care, and you should speak with a professional if symptoms are severe or persistent. But for many, these small pivots bring welcome calm. Fewer interruptions, deeper sleep, and a sense that the bladder is part of the team again. That's the real win. Not perfection, but predictability. You'll also hear me promise a small bonus that makes this easier without overhauling your routine. A tiny ordering script you can use at cafes and convenience stores to protect your bladder without feeling awkward. We'll get there when it matters most. For now, give yourself 48 hours of respectful curiosity. Track, test, and notice. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results, it could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention. If that earlier routine sounded familiar, the to-go cup in the car, the fizzy, better choice at lunch, the late-day pick-me-up, stay with me while we pull the thread a little further. What feels like harmless variety can add up to a single message your bladder hears as, keep talking. 4 everyday features tend to nudge that chatter: stimulation, acidity, carbonation, and certain sweeteners. We'll unpack them without jargon, then map out changes you can try today. First, stimulation. Caffeine is famous for waking up the brain, but it also nudges the bladder. It can increase urine production and make the bladder muscle more reactive, which is a tidy explanation for that "I just went" sensation. And yes, everyone's threshold is different. The interesting part is dosage and timing. A single morning coffee may be fine for you, whereas sipping strong brews throughout the day can keep the system revved. Even decaf contains small amounts of caffeine and natural compounds that some people find irritating, so results come from experimentation, not rules written in stone. Second, acidity. Many beloved drinks lean tart: lemon-lime seltzer, diet cola, energy drinks, kombucha, and even some flavored waters that add citric or phosphoric acid. Acidity doesn't harm a healthy bladder in a dramatic way, but in sensitive people, it can feel like a tiny scrape on the inside, a cue that leads to urgency. Food can play a part too. Tomato-heavy lunches, hot sauce on everything, vinegar-forward dressings. None are bad, yet spacing them out or dialing them down often pays dividends in comfort. Third, carbonation. Bubbles are fun. That's why seltzer basically replaced half the office water coolers. But carbon dioxide changes the mouthfeel and acidity of a drink. And some folks notice more urgency after fizzy choices than after still water. If bubbles are your joy, consider making them an occasion rather than a constant companion. Fourth, sweeteners. No sugar on the label does not mean no bladder impact. Several popular zero-sugar options rely on aspartame, acesulfame K, or sucralose. Many people tolerate them, but a subset experiences more trips to the restroom when these show up repeatedly through the day. If your log shows a pattern, say diet soda at lunch plus a sugar-free energy drink before the gym, swap one of them for something neutral and watch what happens. Now, for the practical part. Keep your favorite routines, just change the building blocks. Replace the second coffee with a gentle herbal option that skips citrus, chamomile, rooibos, or a mintless blend if mint bothers you. If you love the ritual of a cold can with lunch, choose still water and add sliced cucumber or a cinnamon stick. For dinner, if tomato sauce is your default, try a lighter olive oil and garlic base once or twice a week. None of these swaps are meant to be permanent rules. They're experiments that teach you what your body likes. Hydration windows are a surprisingly powerful lever. Instead of constant tiny sips that never let the bladder settle, have a full glass and then give yourself a pause. Most people find 3 to 5 windows through the day work well. One after breakfast, one midday, one mid-afternoon, and one with dinner if evenings don't trigger night waking for you. This rhythm dilutes what needs diluting while reducing the constant pokes that keep the bladder on edge. Label reading helps, especially in the American market where choices are endless. Scan for citric acid, phosphoric acid, and natural flavors that are lemon or lime adjacent. Notice sodium benzoate and other preservatives if you're particularly sensitive. And with sweeteners, treat your body like a lab. Change one variable at a time for a full week, then reassess. Most people discover 1 or 2 small changes deliver most of the benefit. If you're tempted to go all or nothing, breathe. Abrupt overcorrections often backfire and make life less enjoyable. You don't have to quit coffee forever or banish bubbles from the earth. A half calf in the morning, still water at lunch, and a calmer evening routine may be exactly the nudge your bladder needed. And if your symptoms persist, are severe, or include pain, blood, or fever, that's your cue to talk with a qualified professional. Calm, timely care is not dramatic. It's wise. The net effect of these gentle shifts is more freedom, fewer detours to the restroom, easier meetings, better sleep. And when you do choose a treat, a weekend espresso or celebratory sparkling drink. It feels like a choice, not a trigger. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results, it could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention. You've already tested a few swaps and hydration windows, and maybe you've noticed something subtle. When the day runs on simpler drinks, the bladder quiets down. When the routine slides back to cold brew plus flavored seltzer plus a diet cola, the chatter creeps in. That tiny difference matters because it reveals how quickly the body learns. A whisper repeated enough times becomes a script. Step near a bathroom, feel a nudge. Pass the office fridge, feel an urge. Hear the hiss of a can opening, and the bladder clears its throat like it's on cue. None of this means you're broken. It means you've trained a sensitive system to respond to frequent signals. Here's where consequences start to stack. More trips lead to shorter intervals between voids, and shorter intervals can teach the bladder to signal earlier than it needs to. Nights break into fragments, one eye on the clock, a half sleep that never quite restores, and daytime energy frays. People begin to preempt the urge just in case, a habit that offers relief now but reinforces the cycle long term. Add in the American menu, tomato-heavy pizza nights, buffalo-sauced wings, vinegar-forward salads, a celebratory citrus seltzer, and the lining of the bladder can stay mildly irritated, not harmed, just cranky. Over weeks, this pattern may snowball into distraction at work, hesitance to sit through a movie, or a road trip planned by rest areas rather than scenery. A calm reset is kinder than a crackdown. Start with a 7-day bladder quieting plan. For the first 3 days, keep your log and narrow the usual suspects: continuous caffeine, citrus-flavored carbonated drinks, and multiple zero-sugar beverages. Replace them with still water and one gentle herbal option that's not mint or citrus. Keep food friendly to the lining: roasted vegetables, grains, lean proteins, and creamy or olive oil-based sauces instead of spicy tomato sauces. If you're in a drive-thru, simple choices work: a grilled option, baked potato, or a salad dressed with olive oil rather than vinegar-heavy blends. None of this is forever. It's a week of clarity. Day 4 through 7, begin retraining timing. Choose a baseline interval that already feels comfortable, say 90 minutes, and use a timer to check, not to force. If the urge hits early and there's no pain or red flag symptom, try 2 minutes of calm distraction. Slow breathing, a short walk down the hallway, a few pelvic floor quick flicks, brief, gentle contractions and full releases if you've been shown how to do them correctly by a clinician. The goal is not to hold it heroically, it's to remind the system that it can wait a little when it's safe to do so. Gradually extend the interval by 5 to 10 minutes as comfort allows. Progress is measured in smoother days, not in perfect numbers. Sleep deserves a thoughtful approach. Caffeine late in the day can be a double trigger: lighter sleep and a louder bladder, so set a personal cutoff. 2 to 4 hours before bed, prefer still water in measured amounts rather than constant sipping. Consider a wind-down routine that signals calm to the whole body: dim lights, light stretching, light reading. If you tend to wake up, just in case, place reassurance on your side. Bathroom before bed, then trust your plan. When nights improve, days improve. Another layer often goes unnoticed: concentration of urine. When intake is mostly intense flavors, people sometimes underdrink plain water without meaning to, which can concentrate the urine and make any irritation feel stronger. Hydration windows solve this paradox: a full glass at set times, then a pause. Pair windows with existing anchor habits: the morning commute, opening your laptop, lunch, mid-afternoon reset. A predictable rhythm beats a heroic weekend of detox beverages. Stress nudges this system too. Even enjoyable stimulation, crowded stadiums, a big presentation can make urges louder. This is not a failure. It's a cue to give your bladder the easiest possible day when life is demanding. If Friday includes wings and a game, make Saturday's drinks neutral and meals gentle. If a cross-country flight is coming up, practice your routine a week beforehand so it feels familiar. Whenever symptoms are severe, include pain, blood, fever, burning that does not ease with simple changes, or anything that worries you, seek qualified care. Education on the internet is a starting point, not a diagnosis. Many people also benefit from seeing a pelvic floor therapist who can tailor strategies for urge control, pressure management, and posture. The best plan is the one that fits your body, your history, and your life. Now, zoom out to the bigger picture. You're not just avoiding discomfort, you're buying back attention, sleep, and confidence. You're regaining the freedom to enjoy a long meeting without clock watching, to road trip without planning every mile, to linger in conversations because your body isn't trying to cut in. Small, calm changes open that door. Continue noticing what happens when you swap the lunch soda for still water, when you space out acidic foods, when you treat carbonation as a treat rather than wallpaper. If you ever slip, there's no penalty. Return to your log, pick one lever, timing, acidity, bubbles, or sweeteners, and adjust for 3 days. Let your experience, not a rigid rule, guide the next tweak. The bladder tends to forgive quickly when the inputs get kinder. That forgiveness is your margin for real life. Birthdays, ball games, and Sunday brunches with a side of tomato salsa. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention. You've seen how a quieter drink list can calm a chatty bladder. Now let's make the change practical enough to live in your pantry, commute, and calendar. The aim is simple. Keep your favorite rituals while swapping the building blocks that poke the bladder lining. Think of it as upgrading the playlist, not canceling the concert. Begin with mornings, where American habits often stack up. A large drive-thru coffee, a second cup at the office, and a flavored seltzer before lunch. Keep the ritual. Tune the intensity. If your first coffee is non-negotiable, try a modest pour, 10 to 12 ounces, brewed a little lighter, or choose a half-calf roast that still tastes like coffee. Replace the second cup with a mellow herbal option without citrus. Rooibos or chamomile on ice can live in the same tumbler you already love. If creamers are your thing, favor simpler ingredients. Some ultra-sweet flavored syrups can be sneaky triggers for a subset of people. You're not chasing perfection, just nudging the day toward neutral. Lunch is where bubbles often take over. A crisp can is satisfying, so swap strategically. Still water plus a few slices of cucumber, a cinnamon stick, or a splash of plain coconut water for taste without acidity. If you want a can experience, many brands sell unflavored still water in cans. It feels the same in the hand without the fizz. On days that do include soda, counterbalance with a full glass of still water and spread acidic foods, tomatoes, citrus dressings, hot sauces, across the week rather than clustering them. You'll feel the difference in the afternoon. Afternoons are a trapdoor for just one more caffeine hit. Cue an alternative ritual that signals energy without the jolt. A short walk, a high-protein snack, sunlight on your face, or a glass of cool still water sipped deliberately. If flavor helps, try non-citrus infusions, a sprig of rosemary, a slice of pear, a couple of crushed berries. These offer aroma and interest with less chance of irritation than lemon-lime profiles. Dinners matter more than they get credit for. Tomato-based sauces, spicy buffalo wings, and vinegar-forward slaws are American staples. Enjoyed every so often, they're fine. When your bladder is recalibrating, alternate with olive oil and garlic sauces, creamy pesto, or roasted vegetables seasoned with herbs rather than heat. If you enjoy kombucha, treat it like a special occasion rather than a daily staple while you're troubleshooting. The test is not moral, it's practical. Does your evening feel calmer, and do your nights run smoother? Make shopping easy with a friendly shelf. Stock still water in bottles you like to grab. Keep 2 herbal tea boxes you enjoy, non-citrus blends, and pre-sliced cucumber or gentle fruits for quick infusions. If your household loves variety, create a labeled section in the fridge that says Quiet Choices. It makes the better option the easy option. On the pantry side, keep pasta, rice, and grains for gentle meals on days when everything else was a bit zesty. Menus can be navigated with a few subtle tweaks. In cafes, try an order script that protects comfort without feeling fussy. Can I get a small half-calf with milk, no extra shots? Or unsweetened herbal iced tea, no citrus? At convenience stores, look for still water first. If you want flavor, pair it with cucumber slices from the produce case or pick a non-citrus herbal tea ready to drink. At restaurants, ask for tomato sauce light or on the side and request hot sauce at the table so you control the dose. None of this needs to draw attention. It's simply asking for what helps you feel well. Structure the day with hydration windows. Instead of constant micro-sips, aim for 3 to 5 full-glass moments after breakfast, at lunch, mid-afternoon, with dinner if evenings don't disrupt your sleep. This pattern dilutes urine without persistent pokes to the bladder. If you train or go to the gym, place a window right after your session and keep the hour leading up to bedtime a little quieter. Label reading is a gentle superpower. Scan for citric acid, phosphoric acid, and lemon-lime-leaning natural flavors in canned drinks. Know that zero sugar often pairs with aspartame, acesulfame K, or sucralose. If your log hints at a pattern, change one variable for a week. For instance, keep your morning coffee, but swap your lunch soda for still water every day. Reassess at week's end. A single consistent change often outperforms a dozen half-hearted ones. Create a calm beverage base at home. A simple, non-citrus herbal infusion, made with clean water and cooled in the fridge, can stand in for the background sips that used to come from bubbly or highly flavored drinks. Keep it straightforward and safe. Modest strength, no added acids, and always prepared with good hygiene. Rotate herbs you tolerate well and keep quantities measured rather than eyeballed. When the base is ready, you won't reach for irritants out of habit. If you live with others, turn this into a household experiment. Invite everyone to try the friendly shelf for 7 days. Compare notes, energy, sleep, bathroom frequency. Make it fun. Vote for a favorite herbal blend. See who remembers the hydration windows. Invent a new cucumber plus herb combo. Health changes stick when they're social and enjoyable. None of these ideas replace medical care. If symptoms are severe, persist despite calm changes, or include pain, fever, or blood, seek qualified evaluation. Education empowers you to ask better questions and to arrive with data, your log, your experiments, your results. The reward for this practical approach is bigger than comfort. It's the confidence to sit through a meeting, enjoy a movie, or plan a road trip without scanning for exits. It's less mental clutter and more presence with people you love. Keep the rituals you cherish. Swap the parts that don't love you back. Your bladder will often meet you halfway when you do. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention. By now, you've felt how quieter choices can smooth out a noisy day. The next snag is sneakier, the label that looks harmless but keeps you stuck. American shelves are a maze of promises. Zero, light, naturally flavored, clean energy. None of those words tell your bladder how it will feel an hour later. The trick is learning what to scan for and how to run simple experiments so you stop arguing with your body and start collaborating with it. Begin with a calm, curious sweep of the package. Front-of-pack claims grab attention, but the real story lives lower down. On the ingredients list, notice 4 recurring characters. 1. Acids, commonly citric or phosphoric, which contribute the tart edge in lemon-lime seltzers, diet colas, and many refreshers. 2. Sweeteners such as aspartame, acesulfame K, sucralose, or saccharin, often paired with big flavors to feel more like a treat. 3. Caffeine, which can hide in unexpected places. Decaf still contains a little. Some tea beverages and clean energy drinks have more than you think. 4. The vague, natural flavors, which can mask citrus-leaning profiles or botanical extracts that a sensitive bladder may not love. Carbonation deserves its own line. Bubbles are fun, but daily fizz can act like gentle sandpaper for some people, especially when combined with acids and intense flavorings. If your log shows a pattern, carbonated plus citrus plus sweeteners equals extra restroom trips, treat that trio as a single test variable. Likewise, remember that smooth doesn't always mean gentle. Cold brew tastes low acid yet can be highly caffeinated. Kombucha feels virtuous, but its acidity and bubbles stack up quickly. Nitro coffees are silky, but still caffeinated. Decaf isn't caffeine-free. It's caffeine-reduced. These nuances don't make foods or drinks bad, only candidates for a measured trial. Here's a simple 3-pass label scan you can do in 30 seconds. Pass 1. Scan for ingredients that rhyme with your triggers: citric acid, phosphoric acid, lemon-lime flavors, aspartame, acesulfame, sucralose. Pass 2. Check serving size and servings per container. Many cans look single-serve but sneak in 2, doubling your intake. Pass 3. Look for any caffeine statement, and if none is listed, assume a small amount if the product is tea, coffee, cacao, or an energy variant. Make 1 change, not 5. Keep your morning half-caff if it's working. Swap the lunchtime diet soda for still water for 7 days. Reassess at week's end. This is impatient people's patience. 1 tweak repeated wins. To make real life easier, build a swap matrix for the places you actually shop and eat. Office fridge. Keep chilled still water front and center, plus a pitcher of non-citrus herbal infusion. Move seltzers to the back so bubbles are a choice, not a reflex. Drive-thru. Choose a small half-caff with milk, no extra shots. Pair with still water instead of a lemon-lime soda. Gym bag. Skip the neon zero-sugar sports drink unless you know it sits well. Try plain water and a small salty snack if you need electrolytes from food. Movie night. Make a ritual of a tall glass of still water with cucumber slices. Consider a small portion of non-tomato snacks. Game day. If wings and hot sauce are on the menu, make the drink neutral to balance the day. On weeks when life is spicy, let your drinks be calm. The pantry and grocery cart can nudge you toward success without willpower. Stock 2 herbal tea options you truly enjoy that don't rely on citrus or mint if those are touchy for you. Chamomile, rooibos, lemon balm, which tastes lemony without the acid, or gentle spice like a cinnamon stick dropped into cold water. Keep a row of still water bottles you like to grab, and pre-slice cucumber or a few mild fruits to add interest without sting. If your household loves variety, label a fridge shelf, quiet choices, and keep it stocked. When the better option is easier to reach, you'll pick it even on autopilot. A few common gotchas are worth flagging. Unsweetened flavored seltzer still includes acids and flavorings. Your bladder will decide whether that combo is mellow or not. Sweetened iced teas without lemon can still carry tannins that some people feel. Try them diluted or switch to a true herbal brew. Kombucha may be fine once a week, but unhelpful daily while you're recalibrating. Highly colored sport drinks and refresher beverages often pair dyes with acid. If you're sensitive, spacing them out protects your progress. Remember, you're looking for patterns, not rules you must follow forever. Keep your log light but consistent. Time, beverage, context, and sensation within 2 hours. Add notes about food: tomato-heavy lunches, vinegar-forward salads, spicy condiments, so you can separate drink triggers from meal triggers. Many people discover that 2 or 3 small changes create most of the benefit, and the rest is learning how to flex for real life. If a wedding toast includes champagne, enjoy it, and let the next day be extra gentle. If symptoms are severe, include pain, blood, fever, or persist despite thoughtful changes, seek qualified care. Education here is a tool, not a diagnosis. Some people benefit from pelvic floor therapy or medical evaluation to rule out other contributors while you fine-tune habits. The point of this chapter isn't to make you fearful of labels. It's to give you the confidence to choose what supports your day. When you can walk through a store and spot the handful of ingredients that trip you up, you replace guesswork with skill. That skill buys back focus at work, deeper sleep, and the freedom to plan a day around your goals, not a restroom map. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention. You've done the quiet groundwork, trimmed the bubbles, spaced the acidic foods, treated sweeteners and caffeine like dials instead of switches. Here's the clear reveal that ties it together. The habit that keeps irritating a sensitive bladder isn't how much you drink, it's grazing all day on stimulants, acids, fizz, and intense flavors instead of giving your body steady windows of plain, neutral hydration. When you swap that background noise for a calm bass, urgency often eases, nights smooth out, and your day stops being arranged around the next bathroom. So let's make a simple, safe, and genuinely useful base you can keep in the fridge. I call it a gentle cold infusion, not a detox, not a cure, just a friendly ally. It leans on two herbs many people tolerate well, chamomile and lemon balm. Chamomile offers a mellow, soothing profile. Lemon balm tastes lemony without added acid. We'll keep the preparation modest and the hygiene careful, because with anything you brew at home, safety is part of the recipe. Begin with clean hands, a clean cutting board, and a clean, lidded glass jar or pitcher. Rinse it well with hot water and let it air dry. Use filtered or tap water that you'd happily drink on its own. For 1 liter, about 34 ounces, measure either 2 tea bags, 1 chamomile and 1 lemon balm, or 2 level teaspoons of each herb if you're using loose leaves in a tea infuser. If you prefer a slightly stronger flavor, you can go up to 3 total tea bags or a heaping tablespoon of combined herbs for the full liter, but avoid the temptation to keep adding. With bladders, mellow usually wins. Place the herbs or bags into the pitcher, add the cold water, and cover. Slide it into the refrigerator and let it infuse for 4 to 8 hours. Cold infusion keeps the flavor soft and reduces the chance of extracting bitter notes that some people find irritating. When the time is up, remove the bags or strain out the leaves with a fine mesh strainer. Label the container with the date and time. Keep it refrigerated and aim to finish within 24 hours for freshness. If you want a touch of interest, add 2 thin slices of cucumber right before serving. Skip citrus wheels and skip sparkling water here. The goal is calm, not fireworks. Avoid sweeteners during your trial week so you can see how your body responds without extra variables. How to use it is as important as how to make it. Build 3 to 5 hydration windows into your day and pour a small glass for each window, about 6 to 10 ounces, rather than constant sips. Pair windows with existing anchors. After your morning routine, with lunch, mid-afternoon, and with dinner if nighttime waking isn't an issue for you. Between windows, let your bladder rest. If your schedule includes a workout, place a window right after you finish and keep the hour before bedtime quieter. Most people feel more comfortable within a week of this rhythm, and the benefit tends to accumulate. If herbs are new to you, a few sensible cautions help keep things safe. Some people are allergic to plants in the daisy family. If you have seasonal ragweed allergies, test chamomile cautiously or choose rooibos instead. If you're pregnant, nursing, or take medications, especially sedatives or anticoagulants, talk with a qualified professional before adding new herbal routines. If you notice discomfort, stop the infusion, return to plain water, and reassess. Education here is a guide, not a substitute for care. Flavor variations can keep the practice enjoyable. Try half chamomile and half rooibos, or swap lemon balm for a mild tulsi blend, if you tolerate it well. Add a cinnamon stick for a gentle, cozy note, or a few smashed blueberries for aroma. Strain them out right away if you add fruit. Keep the profile non-citrus and non-mint during your trial period. You can test those later if curiosity calls. Remember the bigger context. Your base drink works because it replaces the background buzz. On days that include a celebratory espresso or sparkling toast, let the next 2 windows be your calm infusion. When travel or holidays, stack tomato sauces, vinegar dressings, and hot sauces. Lean extra hard on the base and on still water. This is how you live fully without letting your bladder run the show. I promised a small bonus that makes real life easier, ordering scripts you can use anywhere. In cafes, try small half-calf with milk, no extra shots, or unsweetened herbal iced tea, no citrus. At convenience stores, reach for still water first. If you want flavor, pair it with your own cucumber slices, or choose a plain, ready-to-drink herbal tea. At restaurants, ask for tomato sauce light or on the side. Request hot sauce at the table so you control the dose, and choose still water over lemon lime sparkling as your default. These tiny sentences protect your progress without drawing attention or making you feel restricted. If your symptoms persist, include pain, fever, blood, or interfere with daily life despite calm changes, seek qualified care. You deserve clear answers and tailored support. Many people also benefit from guidance on pelvic floor techniques that help manage urgency and pressure, especially during stressful moments. Let's end on a steady note. This approach is not about perfection or deprivation. It's about knowing what your body asks for and responding with kindness. When your days are anchored by calm hydration and thoughtful choices, you buy back focus, energy, and freedom. If this guidance helped you, share it with someone who carries a cup everywhere, tap like so the platform shows it to others who need it, and subscribe so we can keep building practical, encouraging health skills together. Your progress is earned in small moments like these, and I'm cheering for you to keep going. The next tip is one of the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It could also bring unwanted side effects, especially if you're sensitive, so it deserves your full attention.